Hey, hi everybody, welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 25. On the cover this week, against all odds, we have Nue's Exorcist. I assume this is an anniversary. I didn't even bother looking it up. I don't know, probably is an anniversary. Third anniversary or something? Second? I don't know or care. It's a fine cover, I guess. It's an ensemble cover. Just Gakuro and his harem, whatever. It's fine. And look, in Nue's defense, it hasn't even been that bad lately. It's just, it's the punching bag of the channel, I think, guys. I think we all know. So this issue is interesting. We have both One Piece and Kagurabachi off this week, and there's of course also still that empty slot. So we only have 17 chapters of manga to talk about this week, which is not a lot. This may end up being a shorter video than normal because 3 whole series being absent and 2 of them being like heavy hitters means less talking points for sure. We'll see. I don't know what to expect, but it is interesting. This is a very, very small issue. And also worth noting, the Kagurabachi absence is actually completely unexpected. This was announced like last minute. Nobody even really knew that this was going to be the case until the magazine dropped. So hopefully Hokozona's okay. It's really crazy how this actually happens like consistently every time he does a color page. I guess he just can't handle that workload. It's a lot. Makes sense why he doesn't get the cover too often, because I think the higher-ups at Shueisha also realize that this is a trend. All right, so before we get into the issue, if you would like to skip ahead to me talking about the issue, just go ahead and do so. You can skip ahead to the Nue's Exorcist chapter. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about some other things real quick about the channel, because coming up this next weekend, I will be at MomoCon in Atlanta, Georgia for the weekend, and then following that, immediately after, I will be at a bachelor party in Florida. So I'm very busy. I will not have time to record a Shonen Jump video next week, at least on time, but my plan is to, when I get back, I'll be back on that Wednesday. My plan is to record just something, probably a truncated version of what this series is like, just so I still get to talk about the issue. I just don't think I'll have time or energy that day to record and edit a full one of these. I might just do like a quick little like 10 to 15 minute talk about the highlights of the issue, like what I dug, what I didn't. Probably won't go as in-depth as I usually do. It'll be like a mini version, but it'll still be me talking about the issue in some form or fashion. We'll see what that looks like. We'll see what I feel like doing on Wednesday, because I only have that one day to do anything before I have to go back to my job. And then that weekend, I'll have another issue to talk about. So there's just no time to fit in the whole proper shebang. So hopefully you understand. We'll see what that looks like. But I will have some videos going out while I'm gone. I have some prepped. They're not like brand new videos. This is a new thing I'm going to be doing. This was a suggestion of a comment. The commenter will be featured in the video. You'll see. These are going to be compilations of previous reviews I have done. So I'll tell you straight up, the first one that's going to go live probably later this week while I'm gone for the weekend will be on Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. So it'll feature every chapter review I have done for that series throughout the course of doing these Shonen Jump reviews, just compiled into one video with a new introduction, which that's not really anything new. That'll be like basically the same thing I'm saying in every video, just explaining what you're about to watch. And then a new recorded post-mortem about the series where I talk about my thoughts on it, however many months after it finished. So I think it'll be cool. The first one, the JJK one, is just about finished. It's over an hour long, so, you know, enjoy that. It's all just, again, nothing new to you if you watch all of these videos, because it's just all the reviews in order, with also chapter of the weeks included as well, and any time it got on the cover, I included that as well. And if I have time, maybe I'll get like a really small video, like a new video recorded to upload during that time, but at the very least I will have 2 of those compilation videos ready to go to be uploaded while I'm gone. So you'll at least have that, and it'll feature some new content in it. All right, but that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this. But a fair warning for new viewers, if this is your first time watching one of these, I do sound effects for transitions into chapters, and each series has a unique sound effect, and New Ways is definitely going to be a jarring one to start with. Normally Nue is near the bottom of the TOC, so I don't have to worry about it. You kind of get eased into it, I think. But if this is your first impression with my channel, I apologize. Just maybe lower your speakers a little bit if you're in public or like around loved ones. Just lower the volume a little bit.
What are you doing, step bro?
Nue's Exorcist Chapter 13. What? 13? What the fuck? Nue's Exorcist, chapter 145, Nue and Tomonaki's Future. This is a pretty cool chapter. This color page, by the way, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just another ensemble picture with, looks like 2 guys and then the harem. Well, and Gakuro. So 3 guys, I guess. Anyways, chapter itself, actually pretty cool. I really do like the focus that Gekka is getting right now. She is a far better main character than Gakuro ever was. I really find myself genuinely rooting for her. She's really cool. Her drive is infectious. Like, I just love how visceral she gets in combat. I really like this panel. I'm probably showing it on screen right now where her body's at this really weird angle. It doesn't really look great, like anatomically, but stylistically, it's really cool how she's all lanky and she's just like cutting into this arm thing. I don't know what you call whatever that is. I guess it's his arm. Then, of course, Gakuro gets the final blow, but whatever. I don't care. He doesn't deserve it. But it was a really cool team fight. I'm assuming it's pretty much over here. Gakuro's talking about getting her back on her feet and whatever. I don't know if he means like for more fighting or just if he's worried that she's like losing the will to live or something. I don't really understand fully. I guess Kasha isn't done. That's my guess. He can probably somehow still bullshit his way to living through a massive chasm created in his stomach. But yeah, I actually quite liked this chapter. I've been enjoying it ever since this weird random fight started. As I said, it is random as hell, but it is really cool at the same time. So I respect it. I'm kind of into it right now. I'll take what I can get with this series. I think this is fun. Someone Hertz, chapter 33, Proper Silly. Well, you can probably guess what I'm going to say. It was cute. Not a whole lot to note about this one in particular. It's not really, a chapter that I have much to say about because this is just one of those like more relationship building focused chapters, which again, it's very cute. There's some really sweet moments, some great facial expressions as always. Some of my favorite moments of this series is just whenever Kurage/Mizuo, I don't know what to call her because the title page called her Kurage, but Mime always calls her Mizuo. I don't know what I should call her. But anyways, yeah, some of my favorite moments in the series are just of her making a weird, silly face. Then the moment where they bump into each other in the flower field, it's another one of those nice, again, it's not quite a double page spread. It is, but it's like a half double page spread because it's got another panel on the right side. That happens often. Mostly in One Piece. Except in One Piece, it would be also like 100 panels on the bottom and the top and also on the left side. And then in the middle, there's just like an illustration that you can't even make out in a physical release because it's all in the center fold of the book. I don't know why I'm dunking on One Piece so hard right now. I'm sorry. It's catching strays. It's not even in the magazine this week. Yeah, I really like this chapter. It was just another cute relationship building chapter. Nothing more to note about it really, but it was nice.
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto Days, chapter 259, Band Man. So the dreaded fight is finally over, and it seems our lovely opponents here are now taking an interest in Sheen. Like I give a shit, I really didn't expect these people to stay around, but I guess they are. Okay. Anyways, Sheen himself is now involved in this fight with Guitar Guy. I don't know his name. I don't know if we've seen him ever before. I do. Well, okay, I mean, we have seen him within this arc at the very least. I remember this fight being set up. It's been a while, but I do remember that. And, so far so good. There's some really nice set pieces. I think this guy has an interesting attitude, which will make for a fun opponent. His face does look familiar. Maybe we have seen him in the series before. I don't know, man. I can't keep track of all the random, like, Glupshido enemies they face in this series. But I am excited to see a Sheen fight. They're always really entertaining. I mean, he's the deuteragonist of the series, so of course he gets a major focus. I feel like his final fight should be against someone more big. And this might not be his final fight. We might end up getting like a team fight later with Sakamoto and him working together. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty fine chapter. It's getting us back into the swing of Sheen's whole situation. So I'm looking forward to seeing that instead of what we have been reading for the past far too long. So much better than usual. I can at least say that. Ichi the Witch, chapter 82, Successors. Kind of lame color page this week. It's just of all the Magic Keepers. And man, I don't know. I'm just not really into the Magic Keepers. I don't really think their designs are very good. And especially the lead guy with the panda hat. It's just a really forgettable design. Like, he doesn't stand out in any big way. I guess the panda hat is like his whole thing and his kind of weird eyes. But I don't know. None of them are just striking me in any way. Except Minakata, I suppose. He's like the only one that's kind of interesting, but that can just be boiled down to his connection to Ichi, making him more interesting. And so what we do get about him in this chapter is also pretty neat. You know, we learn a little bit about where he comes from. He's from this like kind of exiled clan or whatever, and he comes back into the fight to finish the fight. And he's also a rookie. He's only been a part of the force for 2 months, and he's already mastered the sacred treasure weapons this much already, which is, it's neat. That's cool. I like seeing this, you know, it's something to latch onto, and part of the story that I'm not really jiving with. I'm still in the phase of just kind of trying to find my footing in this arc, I guess. I'm like free falling as I read it, and I'm trying to just grab something as I'm falling, but I keep slipping off. I'm just not really on the same page as this arc is right now. It's gotta work with me a little bit before I get on board with this. It's still just kind of, I'm just seeing things happen, and I'm going like, oh, okay. I'm not connecting with anything or finding any greater value in anything I'm reading right now. As I've said before, I really trust this series. I really think this will get to a point where I get into it, but we're just not there yet. I'll keep saying that for as many weeks as it takes. I could say that for every chapter of this arc, and then it ends and I'm like, oh, well, never mind, I guess. Anyways, though, the only other thing I have to note is that the gun magic is pretty cool. I like the big, like, a blooming flower gun that she makes behind her. That's a pretty neat idea. Not a bad chapter. Witch Watch Chapter 247, Bone Crisis Part 16. One gripe I have just right off the bat is these chapter titles. I really wish we could get like normal chapter titles for these Bone Crisis chapters, but whatever, I get it, it's fine. It's a very minor nitpick that really doesn't take away anything, but I don't know, I wish we had a cooler chapter title for something as big as this. And the big thing is, Wolf's gone. This is actually a for real death in Witch Watch. He is gone. And my God, was it handled so well. I love their final conversation together. And I love this new implementation of Wolf's powers and his strength. He's, you know, his conscience has faded. He is effectively dead and gone. But Keigo is still, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but Keigo is and will still be able to call upon his strength by looking at the mark on his wrist. He's not going to switch over to Wolf anymore. It's just, it'll be Keigo through and through, but he can still access his strength, which is so beautiful. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let me talk about like the action stuff first before I talk about the finale of the chapter. But my God, was this action awesome. I love the design of Keigo in this wolf form, intercut with just like some memories. I love this little memory as of Wolf, you know, he's just reading like a text log of what he did while he was in control. And there's a note about meeting Keigo's mom and then getting hugged by her after calling her mother. It's so sweet. And then just a whole chapter of Keigo getting comfortable in this new form, realizing that he is like a proper werewolf. Like, this is actual werewolf. The whole time he's been kind of pseudo werewolf, where he like literally becomes an entirely different person when he transforms. But now, well, actually that might be, I don't know, what is a werewolf even? I know what it is, but like by definition, like in old folklore, what do you lose your personality when you transform as a werewolf? I think you do, actually. Because any like werewolf movies or stories I've seen, the person like wakes up and they don't remember what happened. But then there's like Twilight, that's not the case, right? I don't know. I don't even remember. Who cares? Whatever. Anyway, that point might be moot, but he now has a werewolf transformation that he can control. He is himself still, and he gets access to the strength. One thing this does undermine is all the progress Keigo made to fight on his own, like learning the wind spells and such. But it doesn't really matter all that much. This is a brilliant way, I think, to handle this situation. And yes, I absolutely love this final moment where, you know, Nemu asks, is Wolf gone? And he's like, yeah, well, no, he'll always be right here. That's so sweet. You know, I mean, he is gone, but in essence, he will always be able to call upon his strength. That's just incredible. I really love that. What an amazing send-off for the character. I couldn't be happier with how this was handled. I'm really impressed by this. Absolutely loved this chapter. I'm over the moon about it. This is so damn good. This is everything I could have wanted for a send-off to Wolf, if that's the direction we're going. You know, it's obviously not something I wanted to happen per se, but now that it is happening, I'm just happy it's being done with such care. This is really, really strong stuff. Remains to be seen about the further implications I was talking about last week, how, you know, this could be kind of seen as a cop-out for getting out of the love triangle situation. Let's just see how this goes first. I need to see the full picture. But as it stands, man, this chapter, this moment, beautiful. I just am so impressed with this chapter and the chapter before it as well. What a moment. Unforgettable. Drawn to the Fire, Chapter 5, Mismatch. Okay, so we seem to be really getting into the swing of things. This is the first, like, real, true, 100% for real game. I think we're gonna get, like, the whole thing. Probably full-length basketball game here. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's very wordy, which is pretty standard for an early sports manga game, because you just gotta lay out all the ground rules, establish how people play, what plays even are, because for some people this will be their first time even seeing basketball played, period. Gotta make things known. But I just think, for me, the series has a presentation problem. Like, so look at this page that I'm showing right now. I feel like this should be cool, but it just kind of doesn't look cool. It's not landing, you know? It's just, it lacks oomph to me. And I think it's just because of the way the characters are stylized. It makes it hard for me to, like, live in plays and moments. And look, it's gonna happen a lot, unfortunately. I hate to do it, but I gotta compare it to Slam Dunk. I know, literally the greatest sports manga of all time, one of the greatest manga of all time, period. But every single time a play that happens that matters, even plays that don't matter, they still get like an amazing portrayal of what just happened. You can very clearly read what the play was and why it was important just by looking at it. You don't even need an explanation. Here, I think it's trying to do that, but it's not working. And yes, this is early. Maybe it'll come into its own if it is given the opportunity to survive in this magazine, which I'm doubtful. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something about the style and the oomph to it isn't there. I need more from it for me to really latch on. But that being said, I still am enjoying this well enough. I really do like these characters. I like all the little smack talk moments happening between the teams. That's always fun. And the coach talks. It's all classic sports stuff, but I really do enjoy reading it every time. It's still a lot of fun, even though it's a tired old trope. If you can call it a trope, I guess it's just kind of how you have to do a sports manga. I can't imagine any other structure really working. Yeah, not a bad chapter. I just think there are areas that need improving. But again, very early. We'll see how it goes. Class 2B Hero Destroyerz, Chapter 4, 9 + 1 = 10. Nice. Another great chapter. We're really getting into the swing of things now, really getting to the heart of the story. It still has yet to reveal its full hand, I think, but we're getting to the point where it's getting on track. So Akira has awakened his latent power by getting hit on the head with a baseball bat by accident, and he now has this mark on his hand that can absorb a magic and fire it back out, which of course is used as like an allegory for needing to use the bathroom, because I mean, of course it is. That's just the series. But this was a really cool moment. I it's like, it's funny to get like hyped about something like this, but it was really cool. I think it's a really neat idea for a power. It's not original by any means, but in the context of what we've been building to with this character and what his background is, I think it's pretty funny. It'll probably make for a lot of good jokes later down the line. Yeah, really cool stuff. Further establishing what the heroes are, just how that they are people who have proven themselves against a demon lord, and now this guy coming to a world with 2 demon lords, he's like, oh shit, this place is a problem. Like, I gotta do something about this. And even just that simple fact alone, again, I've talked about this before, but I just really like the fact that the roles are switched. Like, we are following the demon lords as our protagonists, and the heroes are like the villains. I think that's just fun. Again, not original by any means, but in the hands of Sorichi, a very well-established mangaka, very talented, it feels unique and fresh, even though it is far from being unique and fresh. That's this whole series in a nutshell, honestly. I feel like all of these ideas, for the most part, have been done before, but because it's in the hands of Sorichi, it feels so fresh and good and clean and easy to read. Just a great time. I'm really loving this series. Again, I still think this is going to be a huge hit. I'm very much anticipating the first time we get to see an actual TOC placement for it, because I expect it to be pretty high. Shinobi Undercover, Chapter 81, Where Do I Go? Fantastic chapter. I, again, have said it so many times. Ichi is the GOAT. Love this guy. Really like what we're doing with him here. I love Yotaka kind of sheepishly asking him to attend the culture festival with him. It's really nice. And then a cool moment at the end now where we're getting a team-up fight with the two of them, with Yoichi and Yotaka. Yes, there are some death flags being flown about for Yoichi, but man, I hope it doesn't happen. Please don't waste this character like this. I really want to see him stick around. He's so good. He is what this series needs. And that's not to say the series is bad by any means. I really enjoy the series, to be honest, but he would amplify it so much. He's the series missing piece, I think. He's what this series needs to become whole. Please let him stay. Please, God, I need him to stay around. He's so good. I think he will, personally. It'll probably be like a fake self-sacrifice moment and he'll get to stick around. Whether it be as like part of the main cast or just like a reoccurring guy, I just want to see him be in the series and not dead. I was talking with a friend the other day about how this series kind of reminds me of Demon Slayer in some ways, and not in the sense of like the art style or anything, but just in the way it's presented and how I feel like, because this is already very popular in Japan, at least as a manga, if you give this to a really good animation studio and they make a really entertaining anime, this could be a massive hit. I really think there's the potential there for this to be like another Demon Slayer. Because Demon Slayer didn't blow up in popularity as big as it did until the anime came out. It was such a stunning looking anime that it drew everybody's attention in. And I think this series and its action has that draw to it that once it gets an anime, it'll be put on a lot of people's radars. It just, something about the trajectory of this series really reminds me of Demon Slayer, and I feel like it'll have a similar trajectory once it gets an anime. Because it really is, it's just a really nice, solid shonen story. It's not groundbreaking or anything. The pacing is really odd, but so is Demon Slayer. So I just think, if you give it to a good studio, this can really take off. Just a random thought I had after a conversation I had before. I don't even remember when that was. That actually might not even have been recently. It just kind of came to mind while I was reading this. Very good chapter, though. I really hope Yoichi pulls through.
He did the Monster Mash.
Roku's House of Oddities, Chapter 6, Kokubunji High School Super Science Club. This is definitely the weakest chapter since, like, Chapter 2. I'm not really sure if this is something I needed to see. The high school aspect of Roku's life is not something I am interested in any capacity. Like, holy shit, I don't care. You give me a premise like this and now you just put me in normal ass high school. Why in the world would I care about that? That is kind of baffling to me, to be honest. Here we are. We're seeing his dumbass friends and his teacher. The only thing that I kind of liked about this chapter was that, they keep pestering about like, well, why you been seen with all these people lately? And he just says that he's got a bunch of freeloaders living with him, and they're happy for him about that because they all know, his parents. He's been all alone. That was sweet, but that's kind of all I have to say. This wasn't a very good chapter in my opinion. I did not need this at all. I'm really, I'm good on high school boring garbage. Let's not revisit this, please. I'm good. Thanks. Akane-banashi Chapter 206, God of Death. We have arrived at Akane's answer of what death means to her. This is fantastic. Obviously, this was always going to be a slam dunk from the get-go. I don't think anybody had any doubts about that. But seeing it actually happen, seeing her facial expressions as she's performing the final parts of this story is phenomenal, and slowly unraveling like what death means to her, what her relationship with death is, and to have it wrap back around to what happened to Shigema is just incredible. It feels like a whole full circle moment. It's one of those things where like you read this and you can suddenly see like the whole vision, the whole way back from when the decision was made to have that ill fortune fall upon Shigema and have the heart attack. Or was it a stroke? I think it was a heart attack. I can't remember. He lived, but still, it was death grazed her. And that affected her. And to see it come full circle like this, it's just one of those like big full picture things you can look back and be like, oh, I get it. It all makes sense. It was just done so incredibly well, and these final 2 double page spreads are stunning. Especially this last one that we end on with just the little shot of her death in her eyes and the full, like, I don't even know what kind of angle you would call this, but it looks really cool. Absolutely love this chapter. It's just a full circle moment for the entire story. The entire recent story arc, I suppose you could say. And it also just feels like a very natural place to take Akane's character. This works so well in both developing her and satisfying the narrative. I loved this so much. Amazing chapter. Me and Roboco Chapter 281, Showa Gags and Roboco. This is a pretty fun chapter. Nothing too funny in my opinion, but I really like the core of the gag just being, yeah, it's a Showa gag manga. Even down, this took me a couple seconds to get acquainted with, actually, or not seconds, a couple pages. I realized that this is also Showa era paneling that's being used in this chapter, which is really fun. And also, you know, not the greatest thing in the world to read. Showa paneling or just old-fashioned paneling is not very engaging, in my opinion. There were obviously mangaka at the time who were more experimental with their paneling. But yeah, a lot of gag manga from that time definitely had the more just box after box paneling, which not very fun, but that's not a discredit to Roboco because they're just emulating the style from that time. Even down to just the way like shots are framed or, you know, panels are framed, it's all just very classic. It's all, and the designs, obviously. I love seeing the Showa versions of all the human characters as well, Gorilla and Motsuo and Bondo. It's really fun. I had a great time reading this. It wasn't like a gut buster. I didn't find myself laughing a whole lot, but it was fun to just see Shuhei Miyazaki's take on what a Showa manga was like, or Showa gag manga. Really fun chapter. Blue Box Chapter 242, What Makes Badminton So Fun? Very good chapter. I have a feeling the coming chapters will be better. This is more of just like getting into the swing of things for this Yusa and Taiki game. But looked really good. There was some really cool, you know, pages of the badminton action, seeing some familiar faces return and show up to spectate. And of course, the only real notable thing I have to talk about is just the fact that Yusa starts smiling at the end and is realizing to himself, this is what makes badminton so fun. Love that. It's a pretty close game so far. It's 8-5 currently. So it's really anybody's game. And like I said before, I really do believe it's anybody's game. I think either of them could win here and it would still feel right by the narrative. So yeah, I'm just on the edge of my seat and I'm really excited to see how this game turns out. Really good, solid first chapter of the game though. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, Chapter 92, Back in Black. It's an awesome title. Really cool chapter to just see everybody fighting, stalling for time as Kiyoshi prepares his new form. Nothing super substantial to note along the way, just it's cool to see everybody get a moment and, you know, do something in this little skirmish. But then we of course get the reveal of this new form of Kiyoshi and it is so rad. Dude, that page where it's revealed is so cool. I absolutely adore that. I love how it's just the full body shot and then behind him in the background is that awesome shot of his face. That's rad. I absolutely love this design. We obviously have yet to see him do anything in the form, so I can't talk a whole lot about power set or anything, but design wise, incredible. I love this. I'm so excited to see it in action. I'm glad this fight's not over. There was a time a little bit ago where I thought it might be ending, but we got a whole nother phase to go. Even though Bobo's a little watered down from what he's been, his personality's still peeking through. It's just not quite the character we've been following this whole time, which is a little lame, but it's all right. We get to see some cool action, and I guess that's all that matters here. I'm on board.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of...
Under Doctor Chapter 16, Shuli's Doctor Road. Okay, I mean, this was all right. It's another one of these, you know, focused on the side character chapters. We're doing Shuli this week. And it's all right. What I like about this is, you know, it's just a sweet little chapter with him and this old woman. And conveniently, of course, tragedy befalls and she, I don't know, what, she just starts coughing or she throw up? Yeah, I think she throws up and passes out and whatever, nonsense. Very convenient timing. But he uses this to, and I thought there was going to be a moment where like, oh, because you're training, you can like save her life and heal her. But no, it's not like that. He helps in his own way. He writes down everything that happened, a full record of what happened to her in this time with timestamps and everything, and then hands it to the medical professionals. That's cool. Very, very cool. I did like that a lot. That's a good utilization. It's realistic, you know, something that the series is doing is not speeding itself along with Shuli's development, which is good because, yeah, learning to be a doctor is not something you can do in like a weekend. This is going to be a years long thing. So to see him doing the very bare minimum, just writing good notes about what happened to her during this time is pretty damn cool. I gotta give it up for that. That was a cool moment. I liked this chapter well enough. It wasn't anything to write home about, but hey, it was fine. I'll take it. Better than it's been, at least. Hima-Ten Chapter 90, What It Meant Until Now. This series is all over the place right now, man. I can't even keep up. And also, wow, it's really low. It's below Underdoctor. Before it was, Underdoctor and Kianto and then Alien Headbutt, but now we got Hima-Ten stuck in between the doomed new batch. And I really have nothing to note about this chapter. It's really just all over the place and doesn't feel like there's any substantial developments. At least he's finally making moves at Himari to try and actually get her off his mind, because that's all he thinks about at any given moment. So he's trying to figure out, like, okay, what do you actually mean to me? While he sits on this letter from Honoka, yada yada, whatever, romance manga stuff. Sure, we're getting somewhere. It's gonna be ending probably, I don't know, within the next few months. Guaranteed. I bet it'll like just barely make it past chapter 100. We're really getting to the nitty gritty of it all, and it shouldn't be lasting much longer, which is good in my opinion, because I feel like this is starting to get a little tiring. It's just been kind of spinning its wheels in really unnatural ways that I've just not been enjoying. And this chapter is like the epitome of that. It's just like, we're going nowhere in this chapter. We're developments at the end, but it's mostly just the same kind of nonsense we've been getting for the last few months. We're getting there. It was okay chapter, I suppose, at best. Didn't really do a whole lot of groundbreaking things, but whatever. It was alright. Kiyoshi Magic Chapter 15, I'm the Chief. I don't have much to say about this chapter. This is a whole lot of nothing. I really can't think of a single thing to say about this chapter. We meet the Chief. She's like a whatever stoic girl, and then reveal at the end, oh, she's all embarrassed. She talked to a guy for the first time. Oh my god, wow. I don't care, man. What do you want from me? This is just very basic and boring and lifeless. I don't know. I get nothing out of this anymore. This series is donezo, bro. I'm not getting anything out of it anymore. I haven't for a while. I've seen a lot of other people turn on it. I'm out, I think. I don't know. I don't care about any of this shit. We're using the same bits over and over within this chapter, and then just some nonsense at the end. Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? I got nothing. Not a great chapter, as has been the case for quite some time. What a shame. The downfall of this series has been. Alien Headbutt Chapter 14, Joining Forces. Yeah, it's not looking good, guys. This is our, set up endgame very quickly, and then next chapter we'll probably just start endgame. It's just, immediately setting up some final conflict, a death match to decide the fate of the world. All the players are back in the game. It's just, whatever. I mean, this is kind of a cool setup. I like this. I really like this page. There's these 2 pages of all these freaky looking creatures. It's kind of just like a taste of what could have been. These are probably all designs that he had in his mind that would have appeared throughout the series gradually, but now he just dumps them all on page right here. It's a shame what has happened to this series. Like, I really was into it for a while. It's kind of losing me now, to be honest. I still appreciate how cool everything is, but it doesn't have that same charm it did at the beginning. It's just, it's a huge bummer. Makes me very sad, like, genuinely. But hey, at least we're gearing up for what's likely to be a pretty entertaining finale, so at least we have that to look forward to. But as it stands with this chapter on its own, it was alright. Just some setup and some cool panels and art. Not much more to say about it otherwise. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for Weekly Shonen Jump 2026 issue number 25. This is a pretty good issue. I had a lot of fun with it. There's a few duds in there, but that's pretty much always the case. Nue being on the cover was sure something. But hey, even that chapter was alright, to be honest. But of course, one chapter did stand out amongst the rest, and this week, my chapter of the week goes to Witch Watch, chapter 247, Bone Crisis, part 16. It gets it again. It had to. This was just such an amazing send-off for Wolf. I absolutely adored this. Couldn't have gone better, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, I wanted to see him live, but we're going to go the route of killing him off. I think this is as good as it could have possibly been. Very good stuff. I'm just so happy that this character got the respect he deserves in his final moments, and he got to, live on in some capacity, even though not literally. His strength still resides within Keigo, and I just think that's such a beautiful thing. Very well done. I was extremely impressed with this, coming from this series in particular. All right, next week, again, I will be late on this one, and it also probably won't be a full episode, but One Piece will take the cover next week. Excited to see that. Excited to have it back, and Kagurabachi, I assume. It was a weird week having such a small lineup, but it'll be nice to have everything back next week. Presumably, I mean, maybe Kagurabachi won't be back. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, just one more reminder. You can go watch the beginning of this video if you want a full explanation, but there will be no Shonen Jump video next Sunday/Monday, depending on if you're a member or not. But there will be 2 compilation videos of reviews of full series that I have done. So you have that to look forward to, if you're interested. And again, I'll be at MomoCon in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're there, I'll be there 3 of the 4 days. I won't be there Sunday because I'll be flying to Florida. But if you happen to see me, which honestly the odds are very slim, but if you do, say hi. I'm friendly. I don't bite. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue. Let me know your favorite chapter of the week, your least favorite chapter of the week, or anything else you'd like to tell me about from this issue. And remember, you can also become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you. You can get things like emotes, early access to new videos, exclusive monthly videos, name in the credits, and if you join at the highest tier, you'll get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, the Cosmic 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, Dan, and the World's Worst. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.